Heidi, you were commissioner of the Georgia Department of Economic Development, but you spent most of your time during, I think, 4 years there as deputy commissioner for global commerce. How did Georgia's reputation as a destination for international business and as an exporting state change over your tenure there?
Well, I think that it continued to grow. One of the things that we did early in my tenure, Governor Perdue funded an international marketing program. And that was funded right before I came in, so I was really part of the responsibility of launching that program over the next 4 years. And we worked very hard to promote Georgia's reputation around the world, and I think we saw that continue to grow. We saw interest in participating in the missions that the state of Georgia ran, that Governor Perdue led, as well as a great deal of interest to pick up from our trade shows.
Right. So,
you know, people were always amazed when I would tell them, you know, we ran 130 trade shows every year around the world. And when you're talking about that, you're really raising awareness. And I think that that's one of the things I'm really most proud of what we were able to accomplish.
What is the typical profile of a company in Georgia that's doing export?
That company is typically going to be probably about 50 employees, maybe a little bit larger. You know, you have to have some of the access to capital. You have to be able to produce the volume, but then also, you know, your payments may come in slower. There's a level of sophistication that is typically required of a company. The Department of Economic Development mainly focuses on companies that are 100 employees or less. So they're really focusing on that small group, and in fact, many of those employees are 20 or less that really need that extra assistance in order to be able to export. But we saw during the down cycle that a lot of companies were looking around and saying, you know, I'd not considered exporting, but I've got to find some additional customers, and really saw it as a new opportunity for them that they'd not considered in the past.
How will you, obviously you all have quite a few connections with the state and through your work there, how will you work with the state in this new venture?
Well, I hope that we will have a lot of good ways to be able to partner with them. One of the things is that the state of Georgia has one of the best trade programs in the country, as far as I'm concerned. And so they often are working with companies who are looking to export, and there may be some opportunities, as we have a company that's looking to export, to be able to use some of their expertise. We'll, of course, hopefully be paying taxes as we grow companies, maybe getting a few of those job tax credits. So I think that our feeling is that we will be a customer more of the state as we grow, hopefully, jobs and companies.
What are the challenges for international companies looking to invest in Georgia, and how will this new venture help them?
You know, I think one of the things that we really see as a barrier to do business in Georgia comes from the fact that operating in the United States is very different from operating overseas. In some ways, it requires, I think, a more entrepreneurial spirit. In most places in the world, government and business are more closely linked than they are in the United States. Here in the U.S., you know, you may need a few permits, but pretty much you're told, go do business. And so the opportunity really is to help companies that are coming here that are international to understand the system, understand how it works. I was talking with an Indian company the other day, and he was saying, you know, I'm trying to explain to my executives back in India that there are 50 different governments here to work with, those each being the states.
Or 150 in Georgia with the counties.
With the 159 with the counties, that's right. And so, you know, that system is very different. In most cases, it's the national government who has that overarching power. You get the okay from the national government and you're good to go. You know, you need an air permit. For example, Kia needed an air permit to do business. You know, they had to have that sign off both by the state of Georgia and by the feds. And in Korea, you know, you could pick up the phone and, you know, call the national government to get that facilitated. So it's a very different system. It is decentralized, and as a result, you know, it's a new process for international companies to learn and understand as they do business here.